Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sadh Sangat Ji, today we're going to be talking about the power of having the Guru's hand upon our heads. And we're going to start with a very small Sakhi from the times of Guru Gobind Singh Ji on the hills of Anandpur Sahib. Some of us may have heard of this Sakhi. It's the Sakhi of Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji against the drunken elephant, the drunken hathi. So if we take our minds back to Anandpur Sahib in the midst of battle at a killa called Lohgar, so a fort called Lohgar Sahib, where the Pahadiye, the local hill Raje, had conjured up a plan to attack Guru Gobind Singh Ji and to try in an attempt to destroy the Khalsa. And one of these Raja, Kesri Chand, had actually vowed to bring back the head of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And how they'd said that they would breach the walls of Lohgar after so many attempts was through the use of a war elephant known as the drunken hathi, the drunken elephant. And the Sikhs heard of this and they relayed all the information back to Guru Gobind Singh Ji at the time. And at the time, Guruji just sat there with their eyes closed. And all the Sikhs at the time were getting flustered and very worried on hearing this news. At the time, within the Darbar of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, a Sikh called Duni Chand walks in. Duni Chand is very big and very muscular, and he's a proven warrior within the Khalsa. And Guruji opens his eyes and says, "Here we have the elephant of the Khalsa. Tomorrow we will show that the elephant of Kesri Chand is no match for the elephant of the Khalsa," referring to Duni Chand. And he'd given the seva to Duni Chand of destroying this elephant tomorrow in the battlefield. From the outside, it looked as if Duni Chand was very confident because of his build, and all the Gur Sikhs were very confident that Duni Chand would be able to accomplish this task. But from the inside, Duni Chand was shattered, and his faith had broken within Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And that night, he wasn't able to sleep. His mind and his thoughts got the better of him, and he went to get some consolidation from elder Gur Sikhs, such as Bhai Daya Singh Ji and Bhai Uday Singh Ji. They had realized that his faith within Guruji had shattered, and they tried telling him and tried consolidating him to say, "Look, Guruji has blessed you with the seva. Guruji will protect you, Anna. Have no worries and keep your faith within Guruji." But his mind got the better of him, and he abandoned Guru Gobind Singh Ji and went back to Amritsar Sahib with a few of his Sikhs. Within the morning in the Darbar, Guru Gobind Singh Ji had realized that a few of the Sikhs that came with Duni Chand weren't there, and once the elder Guru Sikhs told them about what had happened last night, Guru Gobind Singh Ji looked towards one of his most beloved Sikhs, Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji. Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji was known as a Hazuri Sikh. He was one of 25 Guru Sikhs that would stay with Guru Gobind Singh Ji at all times, and they were what we call Tyar Par Tyar, both physically and spiritual of a very high level. But in comparison to Duni Chand, Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji was quite small in height. So a lot of Sikhs were questioning why would Guru Gobind Singh Ji give this seva to Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji looked towards Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji and said, "Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji, you are the lion of the Khalsa. Through you, I will destroy this elephant on the battlefield later today." And Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji was overwhelmed with love and overwhelmed with the fact that Guru Gobind Singh Ji had given them such a mahan seva, such an amazing seva to do. And he puts his hand together and said, "Guru Gobind Singh Ji, with your hand upon my head, anything is possible. Please bless me to do this task you've given me." And Guru Gobind Singh Ji puts their hand upon their head. After giving Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji a tapi, Guru Gobind Singh Ji ordered the Singhs to go and get a Nagini Barsha from his armory, which is a snake-shaped spear, and gave this to Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji to take down this elephant that was covered with metal plates and intoxicated with alcohol, and on the end of its trunk was also a sword, so that anything that fell in the path of within its path would fall to its destruction. The battle had started. Kesri Chand had attacked the fort of Lohgar Sahib, and the point had come where this elephant was causing so much destruction that it was also even killing its ally soldiers within the way. And Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji realizes that now the time has come to bring this elephant down, and with the power of Guru Gobind Singh Ji to complete that seva that Guruji has blessed them with. They put the saddle on their horse and they ride out to meet this elephant on the battlefield. They approach the elephant and they stand upon the saddle, and with one blow of that Nagini Barsha, they pierce the steel of that elephant and crush through its skull. This elephant is in dismay. This elephant is crying out from pain, and glory is given to Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji himself has worked through the Gur Sikh and brought victory to the Khalsa. Not only has he taken down the elephant, but out of so much distress, the elephant runs back and starts attacking the enemy that are about to attack Lohgar. So Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji, with the hand of Guruji upon their head, not only takes down the elephant, but destroys the enemy single-handedly. Guru Arjan Dev Ji talks about having the hand of Guruji upon our heads, and they say, "Guru Pure Rakhya Dehat," so that Pura Guru, that perfect Guru, Guruji for us is God, is Vaheguru upon this earth themselves. They are perfect in every sense. Guru Pure Rakhya Dehat, they do our Rakhya, they protect us. How so? Dehat, they give us their hand upon our heads. What happens when Guruji blesses us? Then Pragat Paya, what becomes Paragat, what becomes known, what becomes forth, what becomes shown to the world? Jan Ka Pratap. That Jan, that Sevak, that Gur Sikhs Ka Pratap, his glory, his magnificence becomes known to the world. And in the same way as Guru Gobind Singh Ji, blessed by Bachittar Singh Ji, his glory, his magnificence was shown on the battlefield of Anandpur Sahib by doing the impossible, by doing the unspeakable and doing the unthinkable of taking that hathi and making it fall to his feet. So what do we take away from this satsang ji? Firstly, the power of Guruji and the blessings of Guruji are beyond anything within this world, and they are not limited to anything within this world. With the blessings of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, anything is possible. Even if the whole world is telling us or going against us, or even if our mind is going against us, just as Duni Chand's was. Secondly, Guruji works through the Khalsa, Guruji works through his sevaks, and for that reason, the honour of his sevaks is the same honour of Guruji. And just as the elder Gur Sikhs try to consolidate by Duni Chand, saying Guruji will save your honour because the honour of his Gur Sikhs is Guru's honour himself as well. So Guruji will always protect our honour if we keep faith within him. And now the question arises, we are very lucky to have this Pura Guru, this perfect Guru, this Guru that created the whole world and the laws that govern it. So Guruji, because of that, Guruji is actually outside of this system. They aren't a slave to the system. Similarly, the blessings they give and the power they give to the Khalsa aren't restricted to the laws of this world. And a lot of people will question, physically it's impossible for Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji to break through the armour of that elephant with a single blow. But the power of Guru Gobind Singh Ji that manifested within Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji isn't a slave to the laws of science or the physical laws of this world. And for that reason, the power that Guru Gobind Singh Ji gives us as well is beyond the laws of these worlds. So with the power of Guruji, we can do the unthinkable. So if we look at an example in today's age, Bhai Jugraj Singh Ji, who actually started this whole revolution of Prachar at an international level, when they started out, a lot of people probably didn't see how far his thought was or his vision was. And a lot of people probably didn't have faith in how successful it would actually be. But he stayed true to Sikhi, he stayed true to the Guru's teachings, and Guruji themselves put their hand upon his head. And because of that now, even today, we're all sitting here reaping the benefits of the seva that Guru Gobind Singh Ji blessed him with. And I'm pretty sure for many generations to come, we will still be doing so. So the question arises, how do we get the hand of Guru Gobind Singh Ji upon our heads? How do we take the blessings of Guruji? And one of the first and most simple ways is just by listening to what Guruji has laid out for us. The path of Dharam, the path of righteousness that Guruji has blessed the Khalsa to spread within this world. And just as a parent knows what's best for its children, Guru Gobind Singh Ji is the most perfect parent. So as a kid, sometimes we question what our mum and dads do for us. Why do I have to go to school? Or in our case, why do I have to go to Punjabi school every Saturday? But in 10 years, you realize that, oh, I actually learned how to read Punjabi. And because of that, I can read Gurmukhi. In the same way, initially, we may not understand the rat or the teachings. Why do we have to keep our gaze? Why do we have to read Panjbani and then Itanim? Why do I have to listen to Katha? Why do I have to learn about Itihas? But Guruji knows what's best for us. And the first way of attaining these blessings of Guruji putting their hand upon our heads is to start to walk this path. And by walking this path, we'll also grow within their love for Guruji themselves. So Sad Singh Ji, I just want to finish off with one of the bhajans, one of the orders from Guru Gobind Singh Ji from Sarab Lodi Bani that says, Jab lag khalsa raya nayara, tab lag tej dino maisara. Guru Gobind Singh Ji here is saying that as long as the Khalsa stays niyara, stays distinct, just as Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji stayed distinct and had full-fledged hope within Guruji, full-fledged confidence within Guruji, Tabla tej diyon mein sara. As long as that occurs, I will give my whole power, I will manifest myself within the Khalsa. And that was displayed to us within the Sakhi of Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji, where they did the unthinkable when all odds are against them. But on the other hand, Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, Jab eh gahat biparan ki reet, main na karun inki prateet. As soon as they start following the ways of this world and they go off from my teachings, then I will have no choice but to withdraw my power. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji is telling his children, us as his children, to stay close to my teachings. They're there for a reason. And as so long as the Khalsa does, I will give my Khalsa my everything, including my power. And as the Khalsa will be able to do the unthinkable. So may we all do ardas to Guruji to bless us with his hand upon our heads. Firstly, as individuals to better ourselves. And by doing so, better the lives of those around us, and collectively, as the Khalsa continue to better this world. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.